Yeah, and what's the psyche?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you know, going back to, you know, using that word psyche and finding its roots, you know, we're also looking at studying the word as etymologists, basically, right? So going back to the word and looking at it, and we can see the roots into Greek mythology again. I'm saying, which comes back to the goddess Psyche, which basically is the goddess of the feminine soul. Which then goes the goddess of the feminine soul.
The word Psyche.
Psyche means
That's what it
feminine
means.
soul, which goes back to
Feminine
ancient
soul.
Egypt as well,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
What I'm saying. So, you know, and logi also means study. The way that they do it within the Western framework, it's logistics. It goes back to the rational mind again. So we also have to understand as well, in the sense of how psychology and psychiatry was used in context to our people. You know, we go and look at people like Benjamin Rush, right, who became the seal of American psychology, right? And we have to know he was a physician, and physicians in those days, they were responsible to creating this ideology of racism. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and we have to look at how Western psychology has helped to shape the ideology of racism, which through time, you know, its subjects, which were mostly us, we were subjected to that. So it's very important. I mean, I go back to the premise that it can only go so far, but then we have to go to another dimension. And it can only go so far to explaining the creation of this false identity. It has created that false identity in the first place. So in order for us to understand the nature of the monster created by Frankenstein, we have to go back to Frankenstein and study his mind.
The model is easy to look at. Examination of anything, you know, will be like you're dissecting a frog to find out what's inside it.
That's right.
You know, you may well know through theory, but for practical purposes, you have scientists that actually opens up the frog, and every single little bit of the frog is noted. Okay, is noted. The same thing goes to the mental status. The mental status has a map. It's as simple as that. And just like how you see they take the world map and make Africa look smaller than South America, it's a big piece of psychology. You know, because if we believe that, you understand, we'll be diminishing our own people. You understand? That just went good.
Unfortunately, from the perspective of counselling and psychotherapy, and it goes back to my point I was saying about when I did my research, and I found that there's not many of our melanated people in the circle of research.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we have other people who are supposedly the gatekeepers of that research. And then, unfortunately, those people are then perpetuating theories that are based upon their worldview. For example, Skinner. Skinner had created what? The Skinner box.
Yeah.
Where he placed a rat in the box.
Yes.
And then the
And
scientists
it's in here,
would
actually, yeah.
manipulate the rat based upon punishment and reward.
Yes.
Right? So every time he would bring the food,
Yeah.
and the rat would go on its
Yes,
two legs, he
yes.
would feed it. Anytime the rat didn't do what the experimentist wanted the rat to do, it will send an electric shock.
Yes.
So that's basically behaviorism.
Yes.
Basically
Behavior,
instilling
that's my
in the rat
Yeah.
psychology.
Pavlov too.
Pavlov too, with the dogs. So I'm saying, you know, where he measured the levels of saliva, and check this as well.
Salivated.
Pavlov also used children,
Oh, of course he did.
right?
Of course
So
he did.
so
Yeah.
the point making is that, and this is the issue that I had also when I was doing my master's degree, and even the counselling, when I saw the melanated people in the group, which, by the way, halfway through, most of them left the course because they couldn't handle it. Okay, so here's another problem. Most of our people who go into these subjects, psychology, economics, politics and philosophy, most of them study it through the eyes of Caucasians.
Yeah.
And when they study it through the eyes of Caucasians, they miss the point.
Yeah.
Like the Skinner rat box. Who was the rat and who was the box and who was the
Exactly,
psychologist?
exactly. Yes.
We were the rats
Yes. Yes.
in the box.
Yes.
And then when you look at all how the system and how the larger box is situated, like our environments, our so-called projects, and they're all situated and created in boxes. and we are the rats in those boxes being manipulated.
Yes, and can I just add to that? You mentioned about the rat and the box. I mean, a lot of things has been done to squirrels, been done to birds, and so forth, all the animals. And we've been treated as if we're animals. You know, the whole precision of, say, you take the street culture now. You know, the whole reason what makes the private people have gone in to buy purchasing prisons, because they can see that we will always have a great number in prison, because they've set us up to do that.
Of course.
Yeah, and all of this violent rap that is a big problem for our youngsters. And like I said to Dougie some weeks ago, I've been visiting people's homes, our own people's homes, and I don't see one representation of Africa.
Of course.
Kills me. It really chokes me up, and I don't want to be judgmental, but when I come out, I'm like, do I really want to bother? Do you understand? Do I really want to bother? Because they're using us all the time. Because there is no guinea pig there. We are the guinea pigs,
and we have to be out. We have to be out of our minds so the status quo can continue. And this is what a lot of us don't realize, is that all this has been created on purpose.
Yes.
Because it helps to maintain the status quo, and it helps it to give it life.
Yes.
Okay then. I think we're gonna have a short break, and then we're just on the other side.